you navigate sponsorships and affiliate deals as a streamer? I've been full-time streaming now for 10 years, and let me tell you, I've made my fair share of mistakes, so let me tell you how to avoid those. Hi, I'm Knightenator, and I have been a full-time streamer now on Twitch for such a long time. And in that space of time, I've navigated a lot of affiliate deals, a lot of sponsorships, a lot of gifted opportunities. So I'm going to tell you firstly how you get started into those, how to navigate them, and how to know when you're being taken advantage of. So before we get started, please make sure you subscribe, give this video a like, and let's get started. Whether you're just starting out or looking to maximize your income, this guide will help you navigate those opportunities like a pro. It helps to take the pressure off of the crowdfunding element of streaming, taking the pressure off of your individual viewers and putting it into opportunities with companies. So let's get into it. To start off, we're going to try and understand the difference between affiliate deals and sponsorships. With affiliate deals, you earn a commission when your audience purchases through your unique link or code. These are often a lower barrier to entry. Most programs will accept smaller creators. Even micro-influencers with a small number of viewers or followers will be accepted onto most of these programs because the businesses aren't losing anything by having more people on board. However, income is directly tied to conversions. For example, things like Amazon Associates, gaming gear companies, software subscriptions. Even things like clothing and makeup, all of it may have affiliate codes. Oftentimes, because income is directly tied to conversions, it can make you come across a little bit disingenuous. You turn out to be more of a salesperson than a streamer, and you find yourself having to really push those deals. Come on guys, if you want to buy this, make sure you use my link. And people don't like that. It's too sales heavy. Next up, let's talk about sponsorships. With sponsorships, companies will pay you upfront for promotion, regardless of sales. These usually require larger audiences or strong engagement metrics. These can be a one-time deal or an ongoing partnership. These provide a more predictable income stream. However, it also means really high expectations when it comes to deliverables. Now let's talk about building your foundation as a streamer. Before approaching brands, there's a few things you need to make sure you have. You need a consistent content schedule. Regardless of what you're creating content on, whether it's TikTok or Twitch or YouTube or anything at all, brands want reliable creators who show up regularly. An engaged community. This means quality over quantity. 1,000 engaged viewers beats 10,000 passive ones. And a clear niche. Know your audience demographics and what they care about. Brands also want a professional presence. Clean social media, updated bio, contact information readily available. And lastly, but most importantly, is a media kit. This is a document with your stats, your audience demographics, and your past collaborations. Think of this as your CV for streaming. This you can make on pretty much anything. I would personally recommend software like Canva. Let's talk about finding the right opportunities for you. When it comes to affiliate programs, you want to start with products you already use and love. So it's nice and authentic, because authenticity really is key. You can join affiliate networks like Impact, Share a Sale, or Commission Junction. Check if your favorite brands have affiliate programs on their websites. So while some will go through things like Impact, others will have them directly on their own websites. You can also look for gaming specific programs if that's your niche, things like Razer, Logitech, Elgato, etc. When it comes to sponsorships, you can use platforms, things like Upfluence, Aspire IQ to connect with brands. However, they will be highly competitive. Or you can reach out directly to brands you align with, which is a little scary, but it will make an impact. Just expect a lot of rejection. You can network with other creators who can recommend you. This is normally the most powerful thing. If a brand already trusts a creator, they'll often trust the friends that they also recommend. And be patient. Sponsorships often will come to you, but you do need to build your presence. Earlier on in my career, I had a lot of other streamers who would come to me and be like, "Why do you have all these sponsorships? I have more viewers than you," which firstly, rude. And secondly, it's because I went out and got them. I reached out to brands directly myself. They were expecting the brands to just come to them. But the thing is, there are so many streamers out there. So you need to put yourself forward. Now let's talk about negotiating deals and knowing your worth. So it's really important to research industry rates. This changes all the time and it really depends on what you're providing, the quality of the work, how many followers you have. But say, for example, with a micro-influencer, someone who has 1,000 followers, if you were doing a social post, you would typically be getting paid somewhere between maybe $20 to $50. That will of course increase the more followers you have. Other things to consider is your engagement rate, not just your follower count. A lot of brands will try to negotiate it down if you don't have a high follower count, but ultimately that's only one of the factors to take into consideration. And never forget to factor in the work required. You need to do script writing, filming, editing, and promotion. There's so many things to consider when working out how much you're going to charge them. And then we come to the contracts. And boy, I hate reading through contracts, but it's so important. I would also highly recommend early on in your career having someone that you really wholeheartedly trust going through those contracts with you, so it can help you digest what's actually being agreed to. These are the key points in the contract that you need to review. Deliverables. This is exactly what content you'll be creating and where it's going to be posted. Timeline. When the content goes live and how long it stays up for. Usage rights. Can the brand repost your content, and if so, for how long? Exclusivity. Are you restricted from working with competitors? If so, you need to take that into account. Payment terms. This is when and how you'll be paid. Very important. And FTC compliance, ensuring disclosure requirements are clear. This is where you'll find things like #ad on people's posts. It is a legal obligation, so you do need to do that. Let's talk about the best practices for promotions. Starting off by always disclosing a paid partnership. Even if something has just been gifted to you, if something is in exchange for a service or a gifted item, if you're being paid, if there's any exchange there, you need to use #ad, #sponsored, or paid partnership. Oftentimes, it will be legally required that it needs to be in the first line or the first word. Staying authentic. Only promote products that you genuinely believe in. There will be opportunities that come your way which will offer you a quick buck, but normally it's just not worth taking. I personally have been offered some really big deals in the past, including moving to a completely different platform for a large sum of money. And whilst yes, I could have taken it, and I don't have any bad feelings or bad will to anyone who did take it, I personally, it wasn't the right move for me. It meant that I wouldn't have been able to maintain my community because they would not have wanted to migrate to a new platform. I also had sponsorships for the platform I was streaming on, and they wouldn't want to move on to that other platform. So it wouldn't have worked for me whatsoever. So just really think through the things that you're agreeing to. Integrate the sponsorship naturally. Try not to interrupt your content flow awkwardly. Make it work with the content. Get creative. Provide value. Show how the product actually benefits your audience. Try and think what you're providing to them. And tracking performance. Always share the results with brands to build long-term relationships. This is super important. Let's talk about some red flags to avoid. So many red flags in my history. My goodness gracious me. Let's try and sift through them. Okay. We're starting off with brands that won't put agreements in writing. Always get them in writing. If you've met up with someone at a convention or a meeting, you need it all in writing. Even if a contract doesn't happen, there needs to be some form of email exchange clearly stating the agreement. I'm going to post this, and you're going to pay me this. They need to agree and say, we will pay you this for this, and this. It needs to be super clear. Otherwise, if they pull out of that and they don't pay you, you're in trouble. If the brand requests to remove disclosure language such as #ad, that is a massive red flag. Not only is it illegal, but you've got to think, why are they being so shifty? The reality is, sponsored posts normally do a lot worse than your other posts because the second someone sees paid promotion or ad, they swipe straight on. And I do understand it, but it is a legality and you do need to make sure you're making it incredibly clear to people that it is a paid promotion. Extremely low pay or exposure only deals. Oh my goodness me. If I had £1 for every single time a brand tried to offer me an obscenely low amount of money for an incredibly high level of deliverable, or they offered only exposure, I'd have a lot of them. I'd have a lot of pounds. Here's the thing, I personally am incredibly flexible. If it's a brand with a really, really small budget and they're a small indie game that wants to showcase their game, I'll normally do it. Or if it's a product that I really, really, really want and all they can do is offer the product and no payment, I'll probably do it. However, if there's a really big brand and they're just trying to take advantage, no. I'm sorry, but I will just say no. Brands that conflict with your values or audience interests. I've even had to turn down sponsorships because unfortunately I have celiac disease and brands have wanted me to eat glutinous products on stream, which I can't do. I'll always try and be creative and be like, oh, I can get my husband to come and eat it on stream, but normally that doesn't work out very well. Contracts with unreasonable exclusivity clauses. If they're asking for exclusivity for the rest of your life, then I'm afraid it's probably not worth it unless they're offering you an obscene amount of money. Companies with poor reputations or questionable products. Always search up the company beforehand. Make sure they have a fantastic Trustpilot rating. Look them up and make sure that they are reputable. Make sure that they are respected in the industry, because I've had so many sponsorships and they normally come through with a lot of money, and then you look them up and it's got like a 1-star review on Trustpilot and everybody in the comments is going, this is a scam, it's a scam, it's a scam. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I want to advertise that, because it doesn't matter how much money they're offering. I'm not going to advertise a scam for someone. Okay, you've got your first sponsorship, you've got your first affiliate deal. Let's talk about how we build that up. If you're delivering good results, then brands will come back to you if you drive conversions and high metrics. Also, if you treat brand contacts professionally and maintain communication, you can really build those relationships for future opportunities. And diversifying your income is super important. Don't rely on just one sponsor or affiliate program, because ultimately, as we know in this industry, you gotta hustle. Try and negotiate long-term deals with brands that you really respect. Stable partnerships are more valuable than one-offs. For me personally, I absolutely love working with Elgato, and I've worked with them now for multiple years. They are fantastic to work with. I use the products day in, day out. I recommend them to literally everybody. So for me, that is a perfect brand partnership. It's one that I want long-term. Upsell. Once a brand sees results, you can propose expanded campaigns. This is always a great way to do it. Honestly, I know a lot of people feel a little bit hesitant to do things like that. They feel like it's not them, but you have to promote yourself. You have to tell people how good you are. You've got to show them what you can do. And if you don't ask, you don't get. Let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid. Promoting too many products at once. This can really dilute your message. If you're promoting 10 products in one stream or 10 products, every single one of your Instagram posts is a sponsored post. I'm sorry, but people will tune out. Accepting deals that don't fit with your brand. The other day, I had an email come through that said I had been selected as the perfect person to promote a product, and they were looking for Black male American citizens. I'm not sure that's as perfect as they think it is. Forgetting to disclose paid partnerships. Don't forget, make sure it is super, super clear. Not reading contracts thoroughly. We've all been there, we've all done it, but really, you gotta read them through. It's rough, but you gotta do it. Undervaluing your work and accepting low pay. I unfortunately have done this quite a few times in the past when brands have really, really hardballed me and they've offered something really quite low, and I've just gone, oh, well, it's better than no sponsorship. But truly, you need to fight for yourself. You need to see if that extra budget is there to pay you properly for these deals. Your talent, your skill, your time, your platform is so valuable, and it's really valuable to that brand. Neglecting to track affiliate links and performance data. Brands will always want the performance data if you've done a sponsorship, so make sure you go and you get all of those stats as soon as possible. In conclusion, sponsorships and affiliate deals can be incredible income streams, but they require strategy, authenticity, and professionalism. Start small, stay true to your brand, and always put your community first. Remember, your audience trust is your most valuable asset. Don't compromise it for a quick paycheck. If you found this useful, drop a like and let me know in the comments what brands you would love to work with. And if you're already doing sponsorships, share your best tips down below. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Keep streaming, keep growing, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe.